Sometimes the Lord brings us through things or to things, and in the midst of it, it's really difficult to talk about it. Sometimes when we get a little bit further away, we can start to talk and share. And that's why I think it's so important for me to talk to you all about my recent miscarriage and some things that I want you to know if you are ever walking through this journey. If you're new here, I'm Rita Johnson. I'm the owner of Divine Mercy Nutritional Care, and I help women with reproductive health issues to take their health back into their own hands through dietary, lifestyle changes, at-home lab testing, and mindset work. Recently, my husband and I lost a baby, and it was my first miscarriage and something that I never realized what a sisterhood there is amongst other women that have also lost babies. And so I want to record this video for those of you that have found out that you are about to lose your baby or have recently lost your baby, just with some things that I have seen from accompanying women through miscarriages and then walking through it on my own. So the first thing I want to say is I am so very sorry, friend. And it might be hard for you to even be able to hear someone else talking about it or see me seemingly emotionally okay talking about my own loss. But I just want to say grief is a roller coaster. Some days are just really, really hard and heavy. Some moments are really hard and heavy. And other days you're just ready to start to move on. It's not the same. Things have all changed because that baby that you were carrying mattered and changes us in ways that we didn't even think was possible. But grief does go through valleys and troughs. And so sometimes we can talk about it and be emotionally stable, and sometimes we can't. And wherever you are, that's okay. I just want to say that I see you and I'm praying for you. So grief definitely isn't something that we should find ourselves guilting ourselves over if we don't feel sad all the time. That's just the natural progression of when we lose someone, right? That always tends to happen. Also, you may find yourself waiting to finally get to labor and have your baby pass out of your body. You may be waiting for a test result. You may be waiting for what's next. It's a very difficult season of waiting. And whatever it is you're waiting for, I just want you to spend some time in prayer and really draw close to the Lord. Because he sees you and he hurts for you. And he loves that you want to mother this baby. So just draw close to him. If you feel mad, then tell him. He can take it. After the waiting, you may experience labor. Your baby will be born. There's a lot of really beautiful resources you can look through. I'll link them up in the description of this video of different products and things that you can purchase if you are hoping that you will be able to save your baby's body for burial. You can have a Christian burial of your baby. So I would also recommend reaching out to a local Catholic cemetery. Sometimes they'll have resources. We were actually able to reach out to our local Catholic cemetery and they buried the baby at no cost to us, which was really beautiful and healing for us to be able to go through that whole process of burying the baby and having my children there with me. Also be aware that there may be a lot of blood loss. So it's a really good time to increase beef liver, things that are going to help support your iron levels, leafy greens, take an iron supplement, and rest a lot. Your body has gone through a lot. I find that in my previous pregnancies, after having delivered a newborn baby that was full term, it was still hard for me to rest like I needed to. And this was even harder because I didn't have that reminder of my baby physically present with me. And so just really lean into whatever your body needs right now to rest. I found that I needed almost 10 days to just have a lot of downtime. I didn't work out. I barely went for walks. I just needed to really be mellow. And that's going to look different from one person to the next, but just really listen to your body and what it is that you need. Also be sure that you're getting enough electrolytes in that time. Now, looking ahead at your next period, your next menstruation, that can be really different too. It may be a really painful period. You may notice onset of cramps even more severe, or other PMS symptoms may be even more extreme than they typically are. This is kind of one of those times where anything goes. So it may be that you have a period pretty quickly after you lose your baby, or you may have a complete cycle before you lose your baby. I've seen women go right from the loss, the labor and delivery, and then 2 weeks later they ovulate, and 2 weeks later they see their next menstruation. Just know that anything is normal at this time. We would call it postpartum period, just like we would if you had a full-term baby. Again, it's hard to be consciously aware of these things, that if we had gone full term with our baby, we would have given ourselves more grace. But no matter how short or long your baby's life was, it matters. And I found it to be a great comfort that my body went through those same motions. It went through labor. It went through a difficult first period back. It just reminded me that even the fiber of my body knew that my baby had been here and that that baby's life mattered. I felt so surprised at how emotionally I just felt the whole world was different after I lost my baby. And in part it was because I was different. And yet, of course, we still want that normalcy, but we also want to share our baby's life with the world. Whatever way that is for you, it's going to look different. Whether that's to share it with all of your friends when they say, "How are you?" or whether it's just a legacy that you leave by living a life more virtuous after losing your baby, or making a small difference, a small change in your day-to-day life. Whatever that is for you, friend, I just invite you to let that be a way that you honor your baby and your baby's life. Also, it's really common to have low hormones after a miscarriage. It takes our body a little bit of time to recover, and sometimes we can get frustrated that it takes longer than we would think it should need to. Whatever's going on with you, just know that we really need to support our body in this time, and that's going to look a little different from one person to the next. So however you're feeling, please just know that I'm praying for you. This is a really difficult journey, and one that we all pray that we never had to do. Whatever the Lord's reason is, we now have these tiny saints praying for us up in heaven. Let's ask for the intercession of all the saints and angels, and especially this new little one who's in the arms of our Lord now, watching over us, that we may all be joined together in heaven someday. I'm praying for you, friend.